So, yeah, so give us, you know, maybe, can someone tell us the experience you've had of a cultural encounter? That, some awareness that you have, something that happened where two cultures met? Yeah.
Well, I think I was in India and I was buying something and I handed my money with the left hand and they like wouldn't even take my money and like walked away from me, and luckily I was like with one of my friends who's Indian, so she could explain it to me. She said that was one of the biggest offenses that you could do, and so that was a quick learning point.
Yeah, you learn a lot from those very uncomfortable moments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That people understand that idea of the left hand and the right hand?
Yeah. The left hand is what you wipe yourself with after you go to the bathroom, so it's very unclean. And money is sacred, so especially touching money is seen as very disrespectful. Yeah. Or eating with your left hand as well.
Mm-hmm. Other examples of cultural encounters that you've experienced? Yeah.
This is just kind of silly. Maybe my first cultural encounter, I was maybe a teenager, and I went to someone's camp house, and there was a family from Spain there, and the younger boy, you know, closer to my age, came up to greet me with a kiss on the cheek, and I had seen it on TV. I had never greeted anyone like that, so he comes up and he leans in, so I'm like, so I kissed him on the cheek, like with my lips, and he was like, whoa. I got a lot of attention from him.
Yeah, and you have to know the etiquette, because some places you kiss on one cheek, some you kiss on two, and some you kiss on three.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah, Holland's three.
Yeah, so.
South of France is
Four, yeah. So, other examples? I mean, these stories are kind of funny when we sit, but they aren't always when you experience them. I was teaching in Hong Kong once, and this classroom I was teaching in was like an auditorium, and there was a stage, and on the middle of the stage was the desk that the teacher was supposed to sit behind. And it's like, I don't know how to do that. So I walked right out in front, and I sat on the desk, and sort of started emoting, and then walked around and started talking to people. Well, it's like these people are saying, who is this person, and how can I take him seriously? Because he's not behaving in the way a teacher is supposed to be. And so I ended up teaching there for 5 years, and it took 5 years to kind of develop a connection. So, yeah. We've all had these experiences, many of us have. Yeah. Others? Yeah.
This isn't totally me, but one of my boyfriends, I decided to like take him to see my family. So we were visiting my family in Sweden, and I remember this one time we had like we're having a family dinner. Family dinner started at 3 at like 1 a.m. We're all still sitting there like talking and eating, and my boyfriend was like, what are we doing? Like the concept of having dinner for such a long time, purely to just keep talking and keep refilling like the alcohol, keep bringing out more food and just sit there, like was completely foreign to him. So I've noticed that a lot more when I go to different cultures, like how long, like he was saying, someone over here said it was like an hour to spend eating lunch, whereas like here in the United States, I mean, you can meet someone for lunch, eat for like 5 minutes and go away. Like the value of conversation with food, it can be like extremely different and very uncomfortable depending on where you are and what you're used to.
I had an experience in Chicago where I had a Romanian visitor, and I said, let's stop and get some coffee. So we went into Starbucks, and we get our coffee, and I said, okay, let's go to my office. And he said, you're going to walk down the street carrying your coffee? You know, that seemed... So the cultural encounters happen both there and here. And it's interesting to think about the context. And does it make any difference whether it's happening in my space or in your space? And how does that affect you? So we're going to have lots of cultural encounters. This whole course is about cultural encounters. I want to show you a cultural encounter of... Has anyone seen the movie Zorba the Greek?
Yeah, Leon.
Woody Allen?
Oh no, I
No.
was thinking Zelig.
No, no, no. This is Zorba the Greek. This is about a Westerner. I've seen it done actually both in stage and on movies. Either an American or an Englishman comes to Greece to inherit some land and is encountering the Greek, it's a Greek island, rural Greek population. And this is really at the end. And I want you to notice the how the scene looks different to the two individuals. So let's see if I've got enough here for you to be able to figure that out. What happened to this thing? Where they were laughing about the monks and such, they were trying to move lumber down a hillside, and they set up these like pulleys, and the whole thing fell apart. But it's and without having seen the movie, you have a sense of how their experiences were different. Can you pick up any of that looking here? And if you can't, I really want to urge you to see the movie. But anyway, yeah. Any thoughts? And this guy is a little tentative.
Yeah, he said something like, "Oh, you can smile," or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what his background is.
Yeah, and he's just like, he spent, this is a 2-hour movie, so he spent 2 hours kind of getting to this point, not to mention, weeks in the movie story. And went through a lot of sort of self-introspection, self-reflection. This is the only time he could really let himself go in the movie. Yeah.
So the one guy,
Zorba.
Zorba, expecting a visitor to kind of be, accept this guy, and he's so standoffish.
Yeah. Yeah, and Zorba just, he would bear with it. And he'd sort of say, he would befriend, he apparently would befriend people, visitors who would come to the island. But they'd only be people who would come for a short time. This guy came to stay, to take over his inheritance. Yeah.
Well, that's really it, it's a dance.
Yes.
I mean, symbolically.
Yeah.
Of connection, like at any point, and to be able to see another person is that exchange of energy and.
Yeah, it's a great image for that kind of real connection. And Zorba saying, "I've never loved a man like I've loved you." That both of them sort of transcended here.